Hi everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of my envelope album tutorial. Now, when I left you at part 1, I told you to go off and decorate all of your pages. If you haven't actually done that, that's what you need to do next. To actually finish your book off, you're going to need an assortment of tags, and you need at least 12. And as you can see, I've just cut these out already, and I've just inked the edges. I haven't done anything yet with, I don't know whether I'm going to use string or ribbon or fibres. I haven't made my mind up yet, but obviously you can use whichever it is that you prefer. So you need to cut your tags out. You can either use a die cutting machine, which is what I've used. I've used a Tim Holtz die, or you can use a Cricut or something like that, or you can even use shop bought ones. It doesn't matter. If you want to leave them plain, that's fine. If you've already bought them and you want to cover them with paper, then you'll have to draw around them and cut them out by hand. So you need 12 of those. And also for inside your large pockets, you're going to need 6 large mats. And again, you can use the paper that you've used to make your album with, or you can use coordinating card, whatever you prefer. And you need 6 of those, which will slide into your pockets. So once you've decorated your pages, or not as the case may be, it depends whether you like the minimalistic look or you like to go to town. I'm somewhere in between, it depends what the album is. Once you've done that, then we have to put the chipboard covers on. Now to do that, let's just move that out of the way. Whatever size envelopes you've used to make your album, you need 2 pieces of chipboard the same size, but they have to be at least 1/8 of an inch larger than the actual album, so that when you do stick it down, I don't know if you can see that, let's do it this way, you're going to have a slight edge. It just finishes it off nicely, so nothing's poking out of any sides or the end. Okay, so you cut your chipboard, and to prepare it, mine, as you can see, I've covered these with plain card. I've edged it with the gold leaf pen, and then I've put a generous coat of Mod Podge over the top. And again, as I've said before, I like to do that so that if they do get dusty, if they're on display or anything, you can give them a quick flick with a duster and it's absolutely fine. It just seals it and protects it. So I've done that to both chipboard covers. The outside cover, the front cover, you need to cover with paper to coordinate with whatever you've used, because obviously if you look, that's going to be exposed because this is your first pocket. Okay, the back cover you don't need to worry about, because your back page will sit like that. Okay, so let's just move the album out of the way for a minute. Once you've got your chipboard cut and prepared, what you need to do then excuse me, is make the spine of the album. Now, I've got grunge board here, and on the Prima Printery album I used grunge board. On my Butterfly Garden album I just used grunge paper. You can use whatever you prefer. If you like, you can use canvas. It's not as rigid as the board. Or if you wanted to, you could stick some canvas onto a piece of grunge paper. You need something that's because it's going to get a bit of a hammering where you keep opening it and closing it, so you don't want anything that's going to split with use over time. So again, take your piece of grunge board, grunge paper, canvas, and you just need to measure it roughly. You just want it to overlap slightly where you finished your paper. And what I normally do is just make a pencil mark so that I know how deep I want it. Now, it's entirely up to you. This isn't going to be a particularly deep spine, but you could finish it here if you wanted and put some ribbon or whatever. But I like it just to be about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And I just make a pencil mark, and then I do the same for the back. Now I'm not sticking anything yet, just so that I know. I don't know if you can see, that's roughly what I want. Okay, then you can decorate your grunge board paper whatever way you like. I've just painted this with a metallic gold paint. I really like this paint at the moment. And then I've just prepared it. Obviously I've taken a little bit of the gold paint because from the top of the spine, when it's wrapped around the book, you're going to see a little bit of the grunge board, and you'll have to excuse me, that was me testing. I didn't know which colour I was going to use. And then I've just used the red double-sided tape because it's really sticky, and I've prepared that ready to stick. So the other thing you need to do as well before we consider this is whether you're going to have a charm or something hanging from the spine. If you are, then we'll be punching holes in that, but we'll do that in a minute. So what I want to do is just concentrate on getting these chipboard covers onto the album. So if we do the front cover first, and by the way, when you're lining this up, you line it actually to the spine. You don't want any overhang on this edge. Okay, so let's see if I can do this first time. Yes. My hands and my tweezers must be working properly this morning. So I'll just get that off like that. Now, make sure you've got your cover the right way up if your paper's patterned. You don't want it upside down. I'm just going to have to lean in here. Again, fiddly things, but there you go. And before I press it down firmly, I'm just going to check on the inside that that's lined up. And as you can see, I've got about 1/8 of an inch either side, so that's looking good, girls. We're cooking with gas. So now I've done that, I'm just going to press it firmly, and that's your front cover attached. It's as simple as that. And there's your pocket. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to flip it over, and again I've prepared it already. Lots of red tape, but again, better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather have too much than too little. So we're going to remove all of this tape. You can use glue if you like, but although I am the queen of sticky glue, there are times when tape is far more appropriate, I feel. So there's always one that doesn't want to come off. There we go. Nearly there. I mean, I'm rushing a little bit here, but obviously take your time. Nothing's ever got that much of a deadline. Okay, so once again, you're going to take your back cover and we're going to line it up with the back envelope. Now, I've not stuck anything down yet. I'm just going to check. That's actually okay. Give it a good press. That's your back cover attached. There's your pocket, there's your tag. Okay, so there, standing in all its glory, is your album. Okay, now we'll put that to one side for a minute. I'm going to come back to my grunge board, which, as I said, I've already prepared. Now I am going to be hanging a charm off of this, but I've no idea what. So all you do, if you remember, you've already marked lightly with pencil where it's going to attach. You probably can't see my pencil marks, but I just want to make a hole somewhere in the middle of what is going to be the side of the spine. And as I've already said before, I'm hopeless with measuring unless I really, really have to. So we'll have one, that'll do out there. Let's push that through. And another one. I'm doing two because I'm using the Tim Holtz ball chain at the moment, so it's easier to, here we go, attach. Now obviously you can use whatever eyelet setting tool you have about. I'm just using the crocodile at the moment. That one's slightly off centre, but trust me, you're not going to notice. Again, that's because I'm rushing a little bit, because I'm filming. Well, I'm not filming, my daughter's filming. There we go. So that will be in the middle. Okay, so once again, and can I just recommend that you do one side first, and I always start with the front. So I'm just going to remove these 3 pieces of tape first. Like that. Now, please don't rush this. Take your time and do it in the position that you find the most comfortable. So I just line one edge first and then the other, and that looks pretty straight to me, and give it a push. That's it. That's stuck. Okay, now you're going to turn the book over and upside down. You'll probably be opposite if you're right-handed. And we're going to take, she says, oh, there's always one piece, girls. That's it. 1, 2, and definitely not 3. It doesn't want to play at all. Could only happen when I'm filming. There we go. Okay. And again, now this is quite fun because this is quite stiff. So, can you see that that's more or less lined up with that? So I'm just going to turn it over, and that's more or less lined up there. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a good press because it really doesn't like being bent to start off with. You have to sort of soften it a little bit. Okay, and that is your spine attached, like that. So if you look at it, a bit difficult. There you go. That's it attached. Now obviously it's not decorated. I've done absolutely nothing with it. A good way, because I don't like to see the join, so add some ribbon or some bling or a little bit of velvet, and then you've got all of this space to decorate to make your main cover. Make it nice and attractive, and by all means you can either leave this plain. You could have stamped images on it if you wanted to, like I did on the Butterfly Garden album. You can emboss it, though I wouldn't recommend trying to emboss the grunge board, it's a bit difficult, and take some of your decoration from here onto it, you know, wherever your imagination takes you. And again, you can either leave the back plain. I would recommend finishing the seam off, or decorate it. Anyway, that's the end of part 2, and in part 3 I'm just going to show you the actual completed album. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or queries, don't hesitate to drop me a line. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye!